Welcome to part 1 of a 4-part series where I take on the ultimate dining experience. 4 days, 4 different 3-Michelin-star restaurants. It's going to be a journey of incredible food, unforgettable moments, and a few surprises along the way. And of course, no journey would be complete without a special drink. So here I am, enjoying a dram of the Macallan Folio 8. Cheers, see you soon. Before tonight's dinner, I've stepped into the Baccarat Bar, an opulent hideaway where crystal gleams and elegance drips from every detail. It's moody, decadent, and unapologetically glamorous. The kind of place where every cocktail feels like an event. I've gone for a classic old-fashioned with a Baccarat twist. Strong, refined, and timeless. The perfect prelude to the evening ahead. Tonight, we're stepping into one of the world's most iconic dining rooms, 11 Madison Park. Nestled in Manhattan's historic Met-like building, this Art Deco masterpiece soars with 35-foot-high ceilings, grand arched windows, and sleek walnut paneling that radiates timeless elegance. Originally designed in 1928, its modern transformation began under Chef Daniel Hume and restaurateur Will Guidara, who reimagined it as a temple of refined hospitality. The centerpiece, a breathtaking floral arrangement, a symbol of the restaurant's dedication to beauty and impermanence. But the true magic unfolds in the kitchen, where Hume's team crafts a plant-based tasting menu that's redefining luxury dining. Opened in 1998, EMP received its first Michelin star in 2009, the second in 2011, and by 2012, its third star, joining the culinary elite. In 2017, it made history as the first American restaurant to take the #1 spot on the world's 50 best list, solidifying its place among the best of the best. In 2021, Hume shocked the gastronomic world by eliminating all animal products, transforming EMP into the world's only 3-Michelin-starred vegan restaurant, proving sustainability and artistry can coexist. EMP's award-winning wine cellar remains a showstopper, with over 4,000 varieties spanning legendary Bordeaux, rare Burgundies, and visionary natural wines. It's repeatedly earned the Dames Bid Award for Outstanding Wine Program, a testament to its fearless pairings. Swiss-born Hume began cooking at the age of 14 years old, trailing in Europe's Michelin-starred restaurants before honing his craft at San Francisco's Campton Place. His mantra, make it nice. Under his leadership, EMP became synonymous with unmatched technical precision. From the legendary lavender honey duck, now retired of course, dining at EMP is a theatrical journey. Each course unfolds with storytelling finesse, backed by a wine program that rivals the food in ambition. As we head into this Art Deco jewel, we're about to experience a meal that challenges, delights, and redefines the very essence of fine dining. Here's where the journey begins. There is just one menu option, a 7-course tasting menu for $365, a seasonal menu that changes quarterly. For wine pairings, there were 2 choices, the exploratory at $195 or the reserve pairing at $365. They have a very comprehensive list of spirits. Besides for the wine menu, I mean, after that's like a Bible in itself. But even just the spirit, that's just the wine. This is the spirits, and loving the whiskey selections. They do have a fair selection of wines by the glass. Staff here are friendly, cheerful. The only thing is the way the seating is, so I'm sat at a back bench. When I got in, they pushed the table into me because I'm sat on a fixed bench. It's very comfortable. The only thing is, because of the narrowness of the table, is kind of when they stand in front of you, I do feel like I'm slightly craning my neck to look up to speak to them in that sense. I'd rather that they were off to the side or something like that, but there's tables on either side of me. The dining room is very large. It's multi-tiered, so I'm on an upper level towards the back of the room. I've got these gorgeous flowers in front of me. I mean, this is my view. Beautiful to look at, so seasonal, so vibrant. It's very interesting the way that there's so much empty space, but yet there's so much going on because the room is so big and incredibly high ceilings. And there's bits of art dotted all over the place. There's intricate moldings. It's a really, really gorgeous space. Staff as well, there are a lot of staff milling about the place. The tablecloths, the napkins are very plain. It's kind of like an Oxford twill. I've got a lot of space to myself here. It's quite a wide table. Not so deep, but plenty of space there. No complaints at all. No legs either in the middle of the table, so I can stretch my legs. Very comfortable space to be sitting for dinner. I'm looking forward to this. Okay, so we're starting off with their own twist on the martini. Well, cheers. Also interesting to see that, so this centerpiece, the staff only go around it clockwise. Nobody has been walking around it anti-clockwise. I find that that's the way they do their rounds around the dining room. I guess it's just they do it for easy flow, so nobody's tripping over each other. I am going to film them once doing this round the room because it's incredible to see they all walk in unison around the same direction. I've seen one of the staff bring a glass up those stairs. It's going to a table immediately to his right, but he can't walk to the right, and instead he has to walk around the whole room to get to that table. Oh, here comes the champagne trolley.
It's the Reese Perpetual Reserve, coming from California. Combination of both Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. You get a very nice balance of richness of fruit and a nice sort of roundness, but you also get a very nice racy brightness.
Starting off, warm broth. It's made with roasted and smoked potatoes and steeped with some aromatics like lemon thyme, some yuzu, and chili.
It's got so much depth to it. It's like smokiness, there's a spiciness as well, and then a sweetness comes through on the end there. On a lovely rainy day in New York, that is so heartwarming.
A few more of these potato-centric bites as promised. A little fried bite I recommend starting with here as it's hot and crispy. It's layers of Yukon grilled potato with collard greens and phyllo dough, topped with some fresh herbs like dill, tarragon, some sea fennel, fried capers, and a bit of candied lemon as well. Alongside salad composed of homemade and roasted sweet potatoes, some layers of pickled shrimps in between, some black radish, all tied together with a horseradish vinaigrette.
This presentation is just absolutely incredible. That fried potato, there are loads of individual layers that kind of add stuck together, creates this amazing texture when you bite into it. It's got that crispy fried outer layer. The inside, it's just layers upon layers of almost like a dauphinoise potatoes. Very compressed, lots of layers. You get that fragrance, hardiness coming through from the dills. In a dish with so few individual ingredients, there's so much going on. The potatoes are there in multiple textures. At the bottom, this rough mashed potato that has got a very starchy texture. And then in between, there's different layers of potato cooked differently, each providing its own unique texture. And then the turnip so thin, providing that crunch to it. And there's a very mild acidity coming from that vinaigrette. It's very interesting as well from the amuse-bouche. Normally for amuse-bouche, used to getting kind of these one-biters, almost finger food style. Slightly different from the amuse-bouche. And it's nice to see something different. Not sure if that wine bit was recording. It's a wine from Austria that borders with Hungary, and it's akin to a Tokai dessert wine. It has very similar characteristics, but yet it isn't sweet. Another thing to note, when they're placing cutlery, they come to one side and put the knife down, and then they walk around the table to the other side and put the fork down. They don't even stand straight in front of me and just reach over. Little things, and I notice them, and I appreciate them. Also, by the end of the meal, I'm going to think of this train that's constantly going around in front of my table. That's what it feels like. It's a train. It's a choo-choo train.
Very important part of any meal, bread and butter. This is a warm laminated bread roll made in the same style as croissants. And then we make our own plant-based butter as well. So this is a onion butter. It's made from cultured onion milk. The center, a glaze made from toasted sunflower seeds and shallots.
I'm curious to how it stacks up against Franzen. To me, as soon as you say the word laminated bread, Franzen comes to mind. Hands down, my favorite I've ever had in any restaurant. Closely followed by the kind of laminated, croissant flaky, onion, cinnamon roll looking thing from the Ledbury. And bear in mind, this is vegan here, so there's no butter in the lamination. Look at the flakiness going on there. Let's start with the bread. So that lack of butteriness is very, very evident. It doesn't have that rich, fatty, milky flavor that you would expect from a buttered croissant or something like that. That being said, you do get that yeast coming through. Almost gives this nuttiness, umami kind of flavor. And then onto that onion butter. It doesn't taste like butter at all. It's a very decadent onion spread. It's almost milky, which feels strange to say knowing that there is no milk in it. And it has this beautiful, beautiful sweetness of caramelized onions running through that. And the most amazing part is, because it's not butter, you can just throw a chunk of that onto your bread and eat it. And it's amazing. It's not overindulgent. It's not too rich. It's not too creamy.
It's perfect. I love this.
Next up, an ingredient we really fell in love with during COVID called tempori. This seasoned from the summer cypress tree we get these from Japan. They've been seasoned with a bit of seaweed. On top are marinated leeks and finger lime.
This dish is very interesting. Tomburi, I've never had that before. I'd describe the texture. It's almost like a very fine quinoa. It has a slight pepperiness to it. Noting as well in the dish underneath, there's a creaminess coming through from the avocado. The slight citrus coming through from the lime. Going back to that tomburi, I said the texture's almost akin to a smaller quinoa. Having had more of it, how to put it, it's more like mustard seeds, you know, kind of when you get like in a pickle jar, when you try and bite on and they kind of slip in between your teeth. That is more the texture you're getting. There's also a slight nuttiness coming from something, but I did bite into something with more of a crunchy texture, so perhaps there are some nuts in there. But overall, a long, lingering pepperiness coming from this dish. So unique, so interesting, so new to me, and I'm really enjoying it. Interesting to note as well, this onion butter sitting on the plate, as it's coming up to room temperature, it's just melting into a puddle.
Off to the southwest of France now. Okay, Kyle. Coming from a region called the Jurançon. Made from a grape called Petit Manseng. Powerful, very aromatic, perfume style dry white wine.
Next up is kombucha squash. Been tempura fried. To beside is spinach, shiso, and shiso sauce.
I'll be honest, it's not the prettiest of dishes. This dish is so interesting. It has a few really familiar ingredients. Butternut squash, shiso, and spinach being served completely like I'm not used to it. I'm baffled I'm sat here eating a plate full of vegetables with so much depth and flavor going on there. That underlying shiso brings us harmonious notes of herbaceousness, and it almost feels like there's some kind of chili, some spice going on. There's a beautiful heat running through that dish, really brings that warmth to it all. Trying to translate this though and explain it's becoming so difficult.
Well, good. I like those things.
Like you just have to come here and actually experience it.
This is Susanna Esteban's. This is a field flare, so it's about 10 different grape varieties being used here. It's aged in amphoras, clay vessels that go back to Roman times. Parts quite a bit of richness and nuttiness to textural, dry, still white wine.
The minerality, the acidity, the nuttiness is beautiful.
If you're feeling ready, you can go ahead and lift up the lid here. Dusted in some corn and potato starches, fried, layered with a lemon tahini, freshly grated wasabi, and some pickled basil seeds. To your right,
A little bit of charred Brussels sprouts that are all in a high basil and cabbage.
Another one of those dishes where I don't even know where to start on what to say. There's the crispy outer skin, there's the silken texture of the interior of the tofu, the hint of wasabi, Thai basil, the sesame, and then the broth comes into play, bringing this huge, deep flavor bomb. It's warming, it's so deep. I never thought I would say I like a tofu dish.
From a producer named Sodegas Albemarle. He goes by the nickname, apparently, Capitaine Chirella, based mostly on a grape called Mencia, or the very, refreshing, fresh strawberry, fresh herbs.
Not so much of the forest fruits or berries, more kind of field fruit. Not natural, but they call it low intervention.
part one of the kitchen coming to the table has arrived. Of course, is going to cook inside this Moviel copper pot. Hot rocks at the base allow for an aromatic water made of lemon thyme to steam the vegetable that's hiding inside of here. A very important ingredient to highlight, black Perigord truffles. Finishing its cooking process, a vegetable called gaila. In the brassica family, it's a kind of Chinese broccoli. Some toasted sesame in the kitchen. It's a perilla jam and a perilla pasta dough that wrap around the gailon stalks. I've dressed it with a little bit of a yuzu vinaigrettes. Going on the plate here, niyoga. It's actually the flowering bud of the Japanese ginger plant. And of course, some shaves, black truffle at the finish of the plate. A little more element, black truffle and ginger sauce.
As soon as it came to the table, the first thing I noticed was that earthy, truffly aroma coming off the dish. Pretty much most of the elements of this dish I've never tasted before. The gailan, to me, it's almost the interior of the stem is very akin to asparagus. Crispy, crunchy, and slightly fibrous texture running through that. Texture of the head of it is very similar to long stem broccoli. The next flavor that hits you is the perilla leaves. Freshness, mintiness, nuttiness coming off that. The miyoga brings that beautiful citrusy sharpness, very fragrant flavor. It's not as pungent as ginger. It's a much more mellowed and sweeter version of it. And then that truffle sauce and brings that intense truffle flavor and binds everything together. It's so unique. It's so flavorful. It's complex. I love this.
Graham and Julie Buck, Crow's Hermitage, 2022 vintage, entirely made from Syrah. Small husband and wife duo, farming organically in the glass, like a very powerful, very muscular style of red wine. Deep richness to it.
This is the last savory horse, shiitake mushroom with sticky rice. On top is served with mushroom sauce, mint. Alongside is coming with a radish.
That is so fragrant. Normally when they present a dish as a shiitake mushroom, straight away to me in my head, I'm thinking there's going to be that deep, rich, umami, earthiness, meatiness. However here, they've got the texture of a pickled vegetable. You get that crunchiness and there's a slight acidity. There's none of that meatiness at all coming from that. It's a really vibrant seasonal dish. Don't take this the wrong way. It's an amazing dish, especially on the end. That mint running through it. Brings this beautiful, fragrant, herbaceous flavor, but that is not what you expect when you see the word shiitake mushroom on a menu at all.
We actually wanted to do something special for you here. You seem like the type that'd be into this, so I just wanted to offer if you wanted a tour of the kitchen.
Absolutely.
And we pour maple syrup on top of snow. So we actually made the snow using apple juice. I recommend 1 plate. So 2.
It's very playful.
This is a Chateau de Libre Dream, double tool sauce her. Raw croup passé, this state, semi-on Sauvignon Blanc with some botrytis. What I love about it is that it's obviously a dessert wine, but I think the older it gets, the more like savory profiles come out.
Wow. I'm blown away by not only the menu, by the hospitality as well. So incredible. Oh. That's Sultanas. It's sweet, it's rich, it's Moorish, it's beautiful.
This is all about winter citrus. Its beverage that starts it is inspired by a very famous pasta called the Ramos Strictus, featuring flavors of pomelo, vanilla, sarsaparilla. Foam is made from aquafaba, covers some chickpea water, and this is the cookie with an orange fillette. Inside dark chocolate, it's cara orange. On the ice, this is a mandarin skin that's been peeled with vanilla and citrus sorbet cream. Top to it is citrus granita as well as candy kumquat. Bread roll. Right up across between the brioche on one side.
There's a tuile, there's a chocolate layer, there's a layer of jelly, there's a cream, and then there's another tuile. That chocolate is tempered to perfection. And there's foam on top of the fizz as well. It's so light and citrusy, it almost has a whipped egg white texture to it. The real highlight here is that mandarin granita. There is so much going on. There's pearls of mandarin, which are akin to tapioca. They have a really long chew to them. There's the candy slices of mandarin. There's a crema or an ice cream going on. These 3 citrus dishes, every single one hit the spot in its own unique way. Wow. I'm truly blown away by the experience here this evening. That's it.
Sesame pretzel made from sesame tahini dipped in dark chocolate, seasonal vermouth that's made by our bar team.
Firstly, it's coffee time. And there's a grand finale drink before the house-made vermouth. And they've even left the bottle on the table, so we can go wild. Cheers. He wasn't joking when he said that was boozy. And here we are, our last bite for today, with the very famous pretzel. It's got that soft biscuity texture to it, and the flavors are sesame, salt, and chocolate. Such a perfect last bite, and so iconic. The total for today's experience came to $640, excluding service. So we just finished up at 11 Madison Park. The only words that come to mind, one of the most unique dining experiences I've ever had. The dining room itself is absolutely incredible. It's so beautiful, the space, the high ceilings, and when I arrived as well, the amount of natural light coming through the windows. And as it fades into the evening, a soft glow descends, completely transforming the space. The staff, a specific mention to Garrett, the sommelier Brian, and Isabel, who showed me around the kitchen. It was such a memorial. It was such a memorial such a memorable experience. I'm slurring my words here, I'm off my face. Such warm and kind hospitality, and everyone is courteous, friendly, chatty. I really enjoyed the service today. It was precise, it was attentive, quite possibly paralleled with some of the best service I've had. Onto the food now. I came in tonight quite skeptical. I'm a big lover of my proteins, my meat, my seafood. I was surprised from the get-go, and at not one point during the menu did I miss my meat. The creativity, the technical geniuses of the chefs tonight was so enjoyable. I got to taste food products I'd never tasted before, I didn't know existed. I got to taste food products that I have tasted before in completely different forms to how I have ever tasted them previously. The flavour, ingredient and texture combinations tonight were a masterclass within itself. I can truly understand after dining here this evening why people talk about 11 Madison Park as they do. It's an experience I look forward to coming back and enjoying again. And unto itself, it's one of those things where as much as I talk about it, I feel you cannot truly convey the actual experience unless you come here yourself and try it. And as usual, thank you for watching. On to the next one. Goodbye.